गुड आफ्टरनून एवरीबॉडी। कैसे आप सब लोग? आई होप एवरीबॉडी इज सेफ, एवरीबॉडी इज हैप्पी एट योर होम्स। डियर स्टूडेंट्स, टुडे इज 31st August 2020. In today's our 11th economics lecture, 11th economics lecture, dear students, as you know already that we have started in economics part B, that is introductory microeconomics. In the part B, introductory microeconomics, so far we have completed unit 2, means both the units, unit 1 that is introduction and unit 2 that is consumers equilibrium and demand. These units we have already completed. Our second unit, or we can say that second chapter in the part B was consumers equilibrium and demand. In that I have already declared that this chapter is over, but there are a few small things which I realized that I should draw more emphasis on that, draw more attention of the students on that. So especially in the same chapter, that is consumers equilibrium and demand, today we are going to learn the relationship between income and price. Our topic we can write over here, unit number 2, that is consumers equilibrium, consumers equilibrium and demand. And in this the topic which I am going to teach you, the topic is relationship between income and demand. Relationship between income and demand. As I told you that the important questions of this chapter, that is your second chapter, or you can say that second unit of the part B, consumers equilibrium and demand, all the questions I have already covered, already taught. But after finishing the chapter, I realized that there are certain other related things which are related to this chapter that should be taught to the students. Many a times these things which I have written on the board, that relationship between income and demand, so such type of topic you may not find in certain books, but especially it is discussed, it is given in the reference books. That's why I felt that it will help you people, since it is given in the reference book and it is related to our chapter. I realize that it will help you in understanding the chapter, that is consumers equilibrium and demand. My dear students, now the question is how this will help you in this chapter. I'm not saying that it is out of the syllabus or it is not included in the chapter. It is there in the chapter, but sometimes in certain books directly you won't find the topic like this, the relationship between income and demand. But it is indirectly is over there. How it is? Because you have already learned the relationship between price and quantity demanded. You have learned that there is an inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded. We have already learned the law of demand. So since you have learned the law of demand, since you have learned the relationship between price and quantity demanded, so even we have discussed about the normal goods, we have discussed about the inferior goods. Where we have discussed about inferior goods? Yes. Do you recall that where we discuss about inferior goods? Yes, my dear students. While learning the exceptions of demand, we have learned as one of the exceptions, that is Giffen goods. So either you say Giffen goods or the inferior goods, it is one and the same. Dear students, so indirectly we are going to study the normal goods as well as the inferior goods once again. Over here in the relationship between income and demand, what we are going to discuss? We are going to discuss about the normal goods, about the inferior goods. That is, once again indirectly we are going to learn the relationship between the price and quantity demanded. Only thing is that our emphasis will be on income, that how and what will happen if income changes in case of normal goods as well as in case of inferior goods, that is in case of Giffen's goods. So first of all we will discuss about the normal goods. Normal goods. Students, one thing is very clear that in case of normal goods, if we talk about the relationship between the price and quantity demanded, the relationship between price and quantity demanded is always inverse. Always inverse relationship means what? Always there is a opposite relationship between price and quantity demanded. These things we have already covered, that suppose the price rises, the demand falls. Price rises, the demand falls, and vice versa. Vice versa means it's opposite. The price falls and the demand rises. It is called as inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded. In case of normal goods, I have presented, I have written on the board, it is the relationship between price and quantity demanded. But over here we have to study the income effect, the relationship between income and quantity demanded. Plus, with relation to this discussion, suppose now the relationship between income and demand. Let's discuss about the income. The income effect, the relationship between income and quantity demanded in case of normal goods. Dear students, if you want the to the point answer or the bull's eye answer, then I would say that, to be very frank, in a simple way, that there's a positive relationship. Attend here, everybody. There's a positive relationship between income and demand. What did I say? there's a positive relationship between income and demand in case of normal goods. In case of normal goods, there's a positive relationship between income and quantity demanded. Students, suppose एक एग्जाम्पल दे रहा हूं. There's a person, Mr. A. There's a person, Mr. A. Mr. A. Mr. A's income is low. Mr. A's income is low. His income is low means what? His purchasing power is less. Are you getting me? When I am saying that Mr. A's income is low, it means what? Mr. A's purchasing power is less. Purchasing power is less. Income is less means his purchasing power is less. Suppose in case of normal goods, the price rises. Price rises. Already his income is less. Means his purchasing power is less. So as a normal human being, in case of normal goods, what will be the effect? What will be the effect of Mr. A's demand? What will be the effect? No doubt the demand will fall. It is income effect. It is his income effect. Since his income is less, price rises, no doubt the demand will fall. But suppose Mr. A's income rises. Mr. A's income rises. So what will happen? Now here two chances are there. Two chances. The price may remain constant. The first chance, the price may remain constant. Suppose the price is constant. When I am saying that price is constant, it means what? No change in the price. No change in the price. Price is a constant and Mr. A's income rises. The income rises and the price remains constant. What will happen? No doubt his demand will rise. Now the Mr. A will demand more quantity, more goods. Got it? And in case the second option, suppose the price rises but simultaneously Mr. A's income is also rises. Mr. A का income भी बढ़ रहा है और market में price भी बढ़ रहा है. So what will happen? What will be the effect? Effect is same, that he will demand more goods. He will demand more goods even at higher prices. Why so? Because his income is increasing. उसका income भी बढ़ रहा है. No doubt the price बढ़ रहा है, but उसका income भी बढ़ गया. Income बढ़ गया मतलब उसका purchasing power बढ़ गया. Purchasing power बढ़ गया तो जो बढ़ा हुआ purchasing power है उससे वो अब ज़्यादा का गुड्स परचेज करेगा. गॉट इट एवरीबडी? तो यहाँ पे मैंने ये दोनों भी चीज़ें कवर किया कि अगर इनकम कम होता है फिर उसका डिमांड पर क्या इफेक्ट पड़ेगा और इनकम ज़्यादा होता है तो भी उसका डिमांड पर क्या इफेक्ट पड़ेगा. माय डियर स्टूडेंट्स, in case of normal goods, as I told you that in normal cases, the economic behavior or the behavior of the particular person or the market, either you talk about a single consumer or you talk about the entire market. It has been seen that in case of normal goods, the relationship between price and quantity demanded is inverse. If you talk about the relationship between income and demand, so it's very obvious, it's very clear that as income rises, the market, or we can say that the particular consumer, they start demanding more of the goods. Means what? Due to increase in income, due to rising in income, people start demanding more goods and services. So it was the relationship between income and quantity demanded in case of normal goods. My dear students, if we talk about the graphical presentation, in this case, the graphical presentation of income and demand in case of normal goods. So first of all, you will have to assume a base, that this is the base, this much was the demand, and due to increase in income, the demand rises this much, that quantity demanded rises this much. And when the income falls, in that case, the quantity demanded also falls in such a case, that is demand falls. So like this it can be presented, the demand curve. If you talk about the presentation, I will show you here the presentation of the income and demand relationship in between in the case of normal goods. So let's see over here the graphical, the presentation of the relationship between income and demand in case of normal goods. As I told you earlier that there will be base. So suppose it is our OY axis, it is OX axis, and over here on OY axis there's price, and over here in case of OX axis there's quantity demanded. So my dear friends, price, it is base for our discussion. We can say that when the price is OP, the quantity demanded is OQ, and it is the demand curve. It is demand curve. Demand curve. Suppose its assumption, our assumption is that price remains constant, means price will be OP itself and the income of the consumer rises. ये assumption पे ध्यान देना. What we have assumed that price remains constant and the income of the consumer is rising. Due to increase in the income, no doubt the consumer will demand more goods. How much he is demanding right now? He is demanding right now is OQ quantity of goods. Since there's an increase in the income, so he will demand more. It is your price. So price remains constant, price is same OP price, but due to increasing income he is demanding more. Here suppose OQ1 quantity, so this is due to increase in income he is demanding more. It is your new demand curve, shift in the demand curve. This can be drawn dotted line also, and the name can be given to this demand curve. You can write D1 demand curve, and it is showing you can name the points, suppose A and B, or just arrow mark like this. It is showing the more is demanded due to increase in income. Okay, in case of increase in income, increase in income. Okay. Now what will happen in case of fall in income? If the price remains constant, fall in income, what will happen? The demand will fall. He will demand less of the commodities. It is our base. How much is demanding right now? Right now he is demanding OQ quantity of goods at OP price. And suppose his income falls, then what will happen? Due to fall in income, he will demand less. Right now his demand is OQ. So he will demand less of the commodities. Suppose Q2 demanding less. Our new demand curve can be drawn like this. With this point, it can be named D2. What can be named? D2. Okay. So this can be shown like this. Arrow. Demand curve is shifting towards left side. It is due to decrease in income, or we can say that due to fall in income of the consumer. Fall in income of the consumer. So my dear students, as I told you that it was the diagrammatic presentation or the graphical presentation of the relationship between income and quantity demanded. In case of normal goods, we have covered that what will happen if that income rises, as well as what will be the effect on demand if the income falls. So once again, I am summarizing this. At the beginning, we have taken the base. What was the base? When the price is OQ, the quantity demanded is OQ. At OP price, the OQ quantity is demanded, and suppose there's a rise in income rises. So because of rising income, the quantity demanded rises from OQ to OQ1. So that's why we got our new demand curve D1. This right side demand curve shifted, as at the right side it's showing increase in demand. And suppose income falls, what will happen? That demand curve shifts towards the left hand side, and it is showing the fall in demand due to decrease in income, or less income, or the less purchasing power of the consumer in case of normal goods. So my dear students, as we have already covered the consumer's behavior in case of normal goods and the relationship between income and quantity demanded. Let's study its second part. The second part is about inferior goods. Either you say inferior goods or given goods, it is one and the same thing. So in case of inferior goods, it is our second concept which we are going to discuss under the heading that relationship between income and demand. In case of inferior goods, first we discussed normal goods, and now the second one is inferior goods. Dear students, when I was teaching you the exceptions of demand, at that time I had discussed about the inferior goods, and brief introduction was given about the Sir Robert Giffens. I had told you at that time, in Ireland there was one famous economist. His name was Sir Robert Giffens. Sir Robert Giffens observed the market in case of inferior goods, that what will be the effect on demand, and he has described that in case of inferior goods, the demand curve, or we can say that the relationship between price and quantity demanded, it will be not inverse relationship, it will show the positive relationship between price and quantity demanded. Means what happens? The positive relationship means what? If you talk that what is inferior goods? Inferior goods means low quality goods. Such goods which the quality is low. My dear students, a normal consumer, or we can say that normally consumers behave like this. especially those who are quality conscious. What happens? The people, the consume or the people give preference to the better quality goods as compared to inferior goods, inferior quality goods. In case of low income groups, when the income is low, so because of less income, because of less the purchasing power, they are compelled to consume inferior quality goods. But as income rises, what we are discussing, don't forget this, we are discussing relationship between income and demand. So as income rises, now right now what's happening? Due to less purchasing power, due to low income, they are consuming inferior quality goods. They are means whom we are talking about, we are talking about consumers. So due to less purchasing power or due to low income, they are bound to purchase, they are bound to consume inferior quality goods. But as income rises, जैसे जैसे उनका इनकम बढ़ेगा तो वो लोग क्या करेंगे? नाउ दे विल स्टार्ट सब्स्टिट्यूटिंग द इंफीरियर क्वालिटी गुड्स. मीन्स जैसे जैसे इनकम बढ़ते जाएगा वैसे वैसे इंफीरियर क्वालिटी गुड्स का कंजम्पशन वो लोग कम करते जाएंगे, और वो जो बढ़ा हुआ इनकम है, जो बढ़ा हुआ परचेसिंग पावर है, दैट विल बी यूटिलाइज्ड फॉर purchasing the superior quality of goods. So it was the relationship between income and demand. In case of inferior quality goods, or we can say that defense goods. सब्स्टिट्यूशन इफेक्ट यहाँ पे हम ऐसा बोल सकते हैं कि जैसे जैसे इनकम बढ़ते जाएगा वैसे वैसे वो इंफीरियर गुड्स का कंजम्पशन को सब्स्टिट्यूट करते जाएगा, और जो सुपीरियर क्वालिटी गुड्स है उसका कंजम्पशन को बढ़ाते जाएगा. एट द बिगिनिंग व्हाट हैपेंस? दे आर बाउंड टू कंज्यूम, दे आर बाउंड टू द परचेस inferior quality goods due to less purchasing power. By the way, if you discuss this as a case, that what will happen if the income falls, or what will happen if the income rises in case of inferior goods? So I would say that nobody willingly, I'm talking about a normal person, normal human being, as we have already studied that law of demand is applicable to the normal human beings only. My dear students, if we talk about the inferior goods, so increase in income, it is a situation of increase in income, less of the inferior goods is demanded, which I told you just now, that people will start substituting the inferior goods with superior quality goods. What will happen in case of fall in income? अगर income fall होता है तो फिर क्या करेंगे? Now they will start consuming more of the inferior goods, and they will start substituting, or they will stop the consumption of superior quality goods. So got it? Very clear? My dear students, in this lecture today we discussed about the relationship between income and quantity demanded. I hope the things which I discussed today from your second chapter, Consumers Equilibrium and Demand, it is clear to all of you. If anybody has any doubt regarding this relationship between income and demand, they can write it in comment box. And if you like my video, then like it. I mean, show your thumbs up over there, share it, and once again, thank you very much for your love, affection, and kind cooperation. That's all for the day.